everybody, Killer Winston here, and today I will be doing What If My Hero Academia Was a Game, Part 3. So, in the last part, the creator of the game My Hero Academia just made an announcement to all of the players that are in My Hero Academia. Basically telling them that they are trapped, blah blah blah, they need to level up, blah blah blah, and there's an update in 3 weeks time. With Bakugou splitting up with Deku and going to find his friends, while Deku left the first town to go to the second town. Now, continuing the story, it would have been 2 weeks after that announcement. Bakugou being level 23, as Deku would have been level 27. As for Speedy and Tsubasa, both of them would have been at level 19. Now, Bakugou, knowing that with each passing minute, the update to the game is coming closer, he would have tried to find a place to level up even faster. Him remembering that there is a second town, he would have told Speedy and Tsubasa that today, or well, that day, they are going to start to head towards the second town, which they are confused by, since they didn't know that there is a second town. Them asking Bakugou how did he know, to which Bakugou would have just said, because my friend went there. Speedy saying, huh? Since when do you have a friend other than us, Bakugou? Shut up, I have lots of friends. Tsubasa saying, yeah, we know. But Bakugou, how do we get there? That I don't know. Speedy saying, seriously? You want us to go to the second town, but don't know how to get there. What kind of leader are you? Well, I'm working on it, okay? Just give me a minute. Bakugou opening his menu and going to the Friends tab. Him tapping on Deku and, well, calling him. But Bakugou, after ringing Deku for like 2 or 3 minutes, he would have been a bit confused as to why Deku is not picking up. But just as he thinks that Deku is, well, busy, Deku would have answered the call. Bakugou yelling, Oi, Deku, what took you so long? Oh, hey Kachan, it's just that, whoa, I'm kind of fighting a boss right now, so can I call you back later? Wait, what? As over with Deku, he would have been fighting a boss from a quest. Him having to switch his weapon into a gun and starting to fire at the boss, which is, let's say, a giant goblin with a club. It smashing its club onto Deku, with Deku dodging out of the way. Deku, after dodging, would have tried to end the call, but just as he was about to press the end call button, that was when a small goblin would have attacked Deku, it having to cause Deku to press the wrong button. That button being, well, deafen. Basically, it allows the user to, well, not hear anything from the call, but with the user at the other side of the call being able to hear the user who deafened himself. To put it simple, Deku now can't hear what Bakugou said, or well, is going to say, while Bakugou can hear everything Deku is doing and hear what he's saying. Now, Deku, since he cannot hear Bakugou talking, he would have thought that he already ended the call. Him saying, Alright monster, let's dance. Deku switching from his gun to his katana, he would have, well, say, enhance attack speed, enhance pierce rate, enhance defense. As 4 different buffs would have been applied into Deku. By the way, if you're wondering what pierce rate is, basically pierce rate is the percentage of the damage that is going to pierce through the armor or defense of the enemy. Meaning, the more pierce rate you have, the more damage you dealt to the enemy is going to be the same as the actual sum of your base attack plus your base weapon attack. Since normally the damage you dealt to the enemy is a bit lower than the actual damage. Why? Because every single player, including the monsters, also have a stat called resistance, which can basically cancel out the pierce rate. And if the resistance of the enemy is higher than your pierce rate, then the damage you are going to be doing to the enemy is going to be deducted by the rate of resistance left. So let's say your pierce rate is 20% and the enemy's resistance is 30%. So after they cancel each other out, the enemy would still have 10% resistance, causing the damage you are going to do to the enemy to be deducted 10%. For example, the total sum of your attack is 100, and since the enemy has 10% resistance left, you will be actually doing 90 damage. Okay? Okay. Now, Deku, after enhancing his attack, pierce rate, attack speed, and defense, he would have changed his weapon from a katana into a dagger, him saying shuriken, as Deku would have thrown 3 shurikens at the boss. With one of them hitting the boss's eye, Deku would have ran in while switching his weapon into a two-handed sword, or a great sword, him jumping up into the air and slashing down. But the boss using its club, it would have blocked the attack, it screaming out in rage as it would have tried to grab Deku by his face. But just as the boss was reaching out its hand, Deku, seeing this and knowing that the weapon changing cooldown is still there, which by the way is 1 second, Deku would have let go of his weapon and try to land on the ground, him doing so with the boss missing its grab. Just as Deku landed on the ground, his weapon changing cooldown would have, ended, him switching into his shield and sword, as Deku would have charged in and using his shield to smash into the boss's leg, causing the boss to start to lose balance. Deku using this to his advantage as he would have jammed his sword into the boss's leg. And as the boss is falling onto the ground, Deku would have jumped up onto the boss and jammed his sword into the boss's eye, this having to blind the boss, since you know Deku's shuriken hit the boss's other eye. The boss screaming out in pain as it would have raised up its hand and trying to grab Deku, which Deku, predicting that the boss is going to do that, he would have stepped onto the boss's head and jumped backwards, him doing a backflip and landing back onto the ground. As whenever Deku landed back onto the ground, he would have switched into his gun, him firing at the boss as he would have used a skill, him saying piercing shot, with the barrel of the gun starting to glow in a, let's say a blue light, with Deku pulling the trigger, a bullet covered in a blue light would have been fired from the barrel, it having to go straight through the boss's knee, this causing the boss to reach its reds. or it just causes the boss to go into his rage mode, it getting back up and roaring with a red aura surrounding it. Deku, expecting this, he would have switched into his gauntlets, him jumping up into the air and in front of the boss's face, him saying "Fire Punch" with his fist igniting with fire. Deku would have jammed his fist into the boss's face, this causing the boss to move backwards. As Deku landing on the ground, he would have again ran towards the boss while waiting for his weapon changing cooldown to end. And whenever it did, Deku would have switched from his gauntlets into his spear, him plunging the spear into the ground and using it to propel himself into the air. Deku would have been again in front of the boss's face, with Deku using a skill and saying 180-degree swipe. Deku spinning 180 degrees as he would have cleanly sliced off the boss's head. By the way, whenever Deku used that skill, he was pointing his shoulder towards the boss, so that his skill can actually hit the boss. Now, after Deku killed the boss, that was when he would have said, "Whew, glad that's over with. Well, time to call back Kachan then." Him opening his menu and going to his Friends tab. Him clicking on Bakugou and pressing the call button. But whenever he did that, a message would have popped up saying that Deku is already in a call, and asking if he would like to start this call while ending the other one. Deku being confused as he would have checked who he is currently talking to right now. And whenever he did found out, yeah, Deku kind of realized that he didn't actually end the call with Bakugou. So whenever he pressed the undeafen button, he would have heard, "Hello? Deku, stop ignoring me, you asshole! Hello?" Deku saying, uh, uh, hi again, Kacha? "Oh, you do notice me, Deku. What a great hearing you have." Sorry about that, Kachan. I kind of pressed the wrong button." "Yeah, right, what did you press?" "I kind of pressed the deafen button instead of the end call button, so I couldn't hear what you were saying." "Of course you did. So are you free now?" Yeah." "Well, then tell me how in the world did I get to the second town?" "Oh, okay, but where are you now?" As Deku would have basically told Bakugou how he can get to the second town. After that, Deku this time would have actually ended the call instead of pressing the deafen button. And whenever the call was ended, Bakugou would have turned around, telling both Tsubasa and Speedy that they need to have like 3 to 4 days of supplies. Them being confused, as Speedy would have asked, "Bakugou, why do we need like 3 to 4 days of supplies?" "Because it took my friend about 2 days to get to the second town from this town. And if I remember correctly, he was using a dagger at the time, meaning that he had 10% increased speed related stats. And that's why it would take us longer to get there. Also, don't question me and just do what I say." Okay then." With Bakugou ordering Speedy and Tsubasa around, they would have gotten about 4 days of supplies each person, as they would have set off for the next town. Then, just like Deku, killing all of the monsters they see on the way there. By the way, if you're wondering why Bakugou told Speedy and Tsubasa that they need 4 days of supplies, it's because he expected the time to get there is going to be 3 days. So he just took 1 more day worth of supplies just in case if they're lost or, well, basically just as backup. Now, after 2 entire days of walking, Bakugou would have told Tsubasa to go scouting ahead, since he does have wings. Him flying in the air and up into the sky. As Tsubasa, while he's scouting ahead, he would have found out that there is actually a town there. Him returning to the group and giving them the news, which Speedy is relieved by. Bakugou just putting up the as expected face. With another day passing, they would have arrived at the second town, them being confused since there are no one there except for NPCs and shops. Bakugou leading both Tsubasa and Speedy to the fountain, he would have told them to interact with it, them doing so as they would have unlocked more parts of the map, them also getting a free full heal potion. As for Bakugou, he would have also did the same thing. Him after doing that, walking around the town, with Speedy and Tsubasa close behind. But whenever they were walking around the town, they would have encountered a man with, let's say, some fish balls in his hands. Speedy and Tsubasa, thinking that this man is just a NPC, they would have ran past this man, with this man just not noticing that Tsubasa and Speedy just ran past him, saying, even though this fish balls doesn't taste good, at least it gives me some attack boost. Hmm? As this man would have looked straight ahead and seen Bakugou. Bakugou having to lock eyes with this man and say, Deku? Oh, hi Kachan, how have you been? How have I been? I've been great. How have you been, Deku? Okay. Seriously? You're eating fish balls? What? What's wrong with that? At least they taste good. Really? You just said it doesn't taste good, Deku. Well, I didn't say it tastes bad, but at least it does give you a buff, unlike some other food. Wait, buffs? What kind of buff? Oh, did you not know? Some foods give you buffs, while some don't. And these buffs can be any kind. Attack buff, defense buff, and even decrease cooldowns. Here, you wanna try? Deku handing out the stick of fish balls to Bakugou, which has, like, 2 fish balls. Bakugou grabbing the stick of fish balls and just eating both of those fish balls. Him biting on both of those fish balls at the same time and just pulling them off of the stick. After that, he would have just thrown the stick on the ground, with the stick just shattering into a billion pieces. After that, well, he would just eat it. Him asking, "Well, Deku, what kind of buff do these fish balls give you then?" They give you plus 10 attack for 2 minutes. Really? Plus 10 attack? Look, Kachan, I'm just trying. Also, they can be stacked. Whatever. Well, you're right. Doesn't taste that good. Deku saying, but it doesn't taste bad, does it? Well, I mean, it can be better. Wait, why don't I share both? It's because you have to swallow it first, and then you start having those buffs. Weird mechanic. Now, just as Bakugou said that, That was when Speedy and Tsubasa would have walked back towards Bakugou, them yelling, "Hey, Bakugou, come on! Why are you talking to that NPC? Let's go!" Deku saying, "NPC? Where?" Bakugou just slapping his hand onto his face and saying, "They're talking about you, Deku." Huh, me? An NPC? What? No, I'm not an NPC. You don't have to tell that to me, Deku. Tell that to them. Bakugou just grabbing Deku by both of his shoulders and turning him around, as whenever he turned Deku around, he would have immediately kicked Deku towards both Tsubasa and Speedy. Speedy and Tsubasa being confused, saying, "Wait, since when can you kick NPCs?" Deku saying, "No, I'm not a NPC, okay?" "Wait, you're not?" "Yes, I'm a player." Uh, oh, so you're Bakugou's friend. Nice to meet you. We're also Bakugou's friends. Speedy reaching out his hand and, well, basically picking up Deku. Tsubasa saying, "Yeah, sorry about that. We thought that since no one was here and the only thing we see are NPCs, we thought there's only NPCs here, so sorry about that." "Oh, that's why. Don't worry, it's fine." Speedy asking, "So, what's your name?" "Oh, my name is Deku." With Tsubasa and Speedy both thinking, "Deku? Why does that name sound so familiar?" With Bakugou being right behind Deku, he would have yelled, "Oi, Deku, you got any quests left for us?" "Yeah, Kachan, I think there are like 4 quests left." "Good, I call dibs." "What? No, hell no. I called dibs on those quests long before you came here, Kachan." "Shut up, Deku, I'm calling dibs now. Those 4 quests are mine." Tsubasa and Speedy both thinking, "Wait, Deku and Kachan? No, wait a second. Do you mean that this..." As both Speedy and Tsubasa would have said, by any chance is your real name Izuku Midoriya?" Deku being surprised saying, yes, how did you know?" Tsubasa saying, Bakugou, did you know that your friend over here called Deku is Izuku Midoriya?" "Oh, congratulations. You finally found out. Would you like a gift?" You knew?" "Yeah, of course I knew. I was the one that invited him to play this game." "Oh." Speedy saying, "Midoriya, I thought that you didn't play games." "Yeah, well, I don't, but since Kachan did invited me to play this game with him, I just, well, accepted his invitation." And over with Tsubasa and Bakugou, Tsubasa would have asked Bakugou, "Wait, really? I have a gift? What did I get?" Bakugou saying, "Yeah, about that." Him opening his menu and going to the party settings, as a message would have been sent to both Tsubasa and Speedy. The message saying, "Friendly fire is on." Them being confused, as Bakugou would have said, "Here's your gift, winghead." An explosion to the freaking face. Wait, no, stop. As Bakugou would have thrown an explosion straight into Tsubasa's face. Tsubasa being blown backwards, he would have hit a wall. Him saying, "Why? Why is friendly fire a thing? Why is there even a setting to turn that on?" Deku turning towards Bakugou and asking, "Seriously, Kachan? Do you have to always be this violent?" "Shut up, Deku. You're not the boss of me." Hey, I'm just asking, okay? I'm just asking." "Yeah, just asking. Are you going to give me those 4 quests or not?" "Well, no." "Really? You're trying to pick a fight, aren't you, Deku? No, I'm not picking a fight. I'm just thinking that maybe there's another way? Really? Like how? As that was when a request would have popped up right in front of Bakugou. Bakugou just reading what that is and smirking. Him saying, fine, as he accepts Deku's request to be in his party. As that will be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. That'll be amazing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! Alright then, Deku, lead the way. Yeah, sure, but before that, Kachan, can you turn off friendly fire? Oh, I forgot about that.